Oh my goodness, this is what the bank has been doing behind your back without you knowing. And guess what? On this Good Joseph channel, I'm always here to share with you some of these nitty-gritties nobody has ever shared with you. And by the way, guess what? In the world of finance, remember one thing, in every deal, there is always a fool. And if you can't see any, then you're the one. And this is exactly what the bank does behind your back. And this is what exactly you can be able to do and be the smart one in town. All right? Let's get into the business. But don't forget this, by the way, I do post a video each and every day. And if you don't want to miss one of my good videos, go ahead and like the video and also make sure that you comment down below. And by the way, there's a very small magical button down below there written subscribe. Hit that magical button. And by the way, don't forget to as well like the video. Let's get into the business. Now, what exactly does this bank does behind your back and you always been losing out? Okay, let's get into the business. So look at here. Okay, now this is you, this is Kevin. Let's call this individual Kevin. You have your money, you've been working hard. Let's say you're into business, or maybe you're employed, or whatever the thing is, but you make your cash, because obviously you cannot keep your cash under the mattress. So what do? You go with your cash to your bank, to your favorite bank, and tell them, hey, you know what, guys, I got some cash with me and I cannot trust myself with my money. I just want to, sort of fix you this money there with you, or just give that money to you because I want it safe. Okay, go babysit that money, take care of it. Bye bye. You take 100K to a bank and then you show off, all right? Or rather, you get off the place. Now, the point is this: once you take that money to a bank, there is something called, this bank, there is a rule that they tell them, hey, guess what? You can actually use that bank. And you know what? The moment you show up to that money in a bank, it becomes a liability. For example, the moment you go to a bank, there is a security officer, there is a teller out there, there is a very nice environment, there are those speakers announcing, there are those everybody who is working out there. All those guys need to be paid a salary. You get what? For example, let me ask a very simple question. If today we agree, the 10 of us, each and every month will be giving you money and keep it for us, and we tell you, guess what? Anytime we want our money, we want it back. Okay? You guess what I'm saying? Exactly. Do you know what? It's gonna be a very, very big liability that you are giving out to you. So this is what the bank does. See, all the banks, for example, in Kenya, all the banks in Kenya are regulated by a body called CBK. CBK, that's Central Bank of Kenya. If you go to America, they are regulated by the Federal Reserve or something of sort. Okay? You can actually check your central bank in your country. That's what they're regulated. So any other bank apart from the CBK, example in Kenya, it is called a commercial bank. All right? Commercial bank, listen to the name, commercial bank. It's a banking business. CBK is not a banking business. CBK don't make profits, but the other banks, they usually make profit. And this is what the rule tells them. The CBK tells the bank, guess what? If John shows up, or if Kevin shows up with 100K and puts it in your account, you are allowed to take 90% of that money and invest it. Right? So you show up with 100K, banks now takes the 90,000 from your money and goes and does what? And invest. They remain only 10,000 for you in that given bank. And this procedure is called fractional reserve. There is a fraction of money that is left in the bank for you, and there is a money that they take it for them to invest. And guess what? If you want to believe that's the truth, there is a sum of the money that if you show up, you want to withdraw. And it's your money. They tell you, hey, guess what? Give us like 2 or 3 business days for us to process your money. There's some of the money you cannot just withdraw. That's for a fact. In Kenya, go there, try to withdraw like 10,000 USD. That's like $1 million and something. You cannot be able to withdraw that cash. Now, guess what now? The bank now takes the 90,000 from your 100,000. And guess what? They make money out of your money. And this is how they do it. Now, when you put that money, somebody comes in. Let's say somebody like Jacob comes in and say, hey, guess what, bank? You see, I've been withdrawing. I just want to get a loan from you. I want to buy a car. And this car is so amazing. I want to do business. I want to do this, blah, 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 blah. No problem. The bank tells them, guess what? There is a money that we got from John or from Kevin, and we would like to lend to you. But make sure that you don't mess up. See, don't mess up, and make sure that you pay us back your money, our money. And of course, with an interest on top of that. And guess what happens? Because we also don't trust you, Jacob, go ahead and give us the logbook that you're going to acquire. You're getting that car. Guess what now happens? The bank is benefiting. Bank is not playing the losing game in this. Taking advantage of the Kevin's money, has given that Kevin's money to Jacob, and has also well taken the logbook from the Jacob or any other collateral or functions of the security, so that the bank at the end of the day, they win. That's why I told you, in every deal, there is always a fool. And if you can't see any, you are the one. All right, now, in the same bank, another somebody comes in, somebody by the name John, says, hey, you know what, bank? Hey, guess what? I want to get a home. I have this dream. I want to get a home. I want to have my family in a home and something of sort. And I just want some loan for me to go ahead and do what? And be able to build. Maybe it's a mortgage or whatever the thing it is. Now, guess what? The bank tells John, guess what? Kevin gave us money and we can as well use that money. I can lend it to you. Go do your thing. When I say Kevin, I mean like Kevin and other people collectively. They take that money, John takes the money, go buys the house. And the bank, guess what the bank says? Hey, we don't trust you as well, John. Come on. We need to have that title deed for our side, just in case you don't pay back our loan. We're gonna possess that thing and you're gonna make money out of it. So now the John does the same. And guess what? All these situations, bank is making money. And what are you doing? You're just saving your cash, thinking that you only save yourself to wealthy. You are wrong. All right. And now somebody comes in, can say, what? I have a very bright kid. I want to take them to a very nice university. I want something like school fees for me to pay back that loan. And guess what? I'm employed. I can do this and blah, 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 blah. They tell you, hey, John or Kevin gave us money. And guess what? This is what is happening. Now they give. You get what I'm saying? So the bank is making money all these areas, and not just that areas. Bank, again, they go into these specific areas. Bank can take your money and go invest that money in treasury bonds that you yourself, you can be able to invest. And I don't know why you're not doing it. The bank can as well take money and go invest in these treasury bills. You yourself, you can as well go ahead and do that. Bank can as well take that money and actually loan it out there. Guess what? Now, on normal loans, banks in Kenya, actually, the interest rate is all the way up to 20%. 20% interest in normal loans. And they tell you, hey, guess what? Instead of having your money, you think that they're giving you the best option. They tell you, instead of having your money just a normal account, why don't you just take your money and fix it? And once you fix that money, guess what happens now? We're going to be giving you an interest out of your money. And they tell you, hey, guess we're going to give you a clean and sweet 6%. So they tell you 6%. And you're like, wow, that's amazing. 6%. I'm off the deal. Come on, let's do it. You take your money, put it in a fixed account. Guess what happens? Hey, Kevin actually fall into a trap. Let's get the money from the Kevin's pocket that he has fixed. And how long did he say he's going to fix the money? 1 year. Amazing. We're going to invest on treasury bill. They take your money, boom, they put it in a treasury bill that is giving them 16.8%. Guess what now? Guess what happens? Now, this 6% is pre-tax. So once you do the taxes, it goes back all the way to 4%. Come on, you're listening. Now, guess what happens now? They're getting 16% from the treasury bills. They're giving you the 6%. Basically, they're giving you 4%. And then they remain with clean, let's say even 9%. They remain with more than double of what they're giving you. Now, who is the fool in this game? And guess what happens now? In these loans, again, they can even decide to take this money and fix it. And guess what? They're giving you the 6%. And then when they give the loans, they are getting the 20%. Do you get what I'm saying? You see where the game is? That's why I always discourage you, do not idolize money in your bank. Unless you're accumulating it to achieve a certain capital amount of money for you to be able to go and invest it out there, for you to get a capital, or rather for you to get an investment and a passive income at the end of the day. But if you just save your money idly in a bank without any goal, without anything that you're aiming, at that particular point, you're losing the game. That's the game of the money. And guess what happens now? And then you realize, because you've been watching the Good Joseph channel, then you realize, oh my goodness, you guys have been making money out of my money now. Where's my interest? Where's the telly? And no, if you want your money back, the 100K, you can get it. And by the way, just inform us in 3 days time, business day, so that we can process your money. This is exactly what the banks has been doing, because they're called the commercial bank. They're there to make money, not friends. They say if you want to make friends, go sell lies. That's the reality. So this is what exactly the bank has been doing, and this information has never been shared with you. And it's the high time you can be able to decide. Come on, leave as low money as you can in the bank. Go into bills, go into bonds, go into things like what do we call them, the fixed interest investments or something of sort, things like balance fund, bond fund, equity fund. Those are the areas where you can actually put your money and be able to earn something at the end of the day. Because hey, guess what, in every deal there is always a fool, and if you can't see any, you're the one. So my friend, brothers and sisters, know what exactly are you supposed to do for you to be able to realize something out of this investment. This is what I'm going to tell you. Do not idolize money in your bank. It's always good to think out and ask yourself, okay, I'm accumulating this money. I'm looking forward into investing in future. I'm looking forward in achieving this particular goal. If you are saving in a bank on a basis of achieving a certain amount of money, say in a particular period of time, there is nothing wrong with that. There is totally everything wrong to do with if you just take your money and put it in a bank. You don't have any goal, you don't have anything that you're working for, you're just saving that money there aimlessly without any specific target that you're having. So if you ask me, this is what I would advise you to do. You may not be able to create a whole structure or a system like a bank, because it requires a lot of money and a lot of time and something of sort, but it is possible. Now dream that is not valid. That is exactly what you can be able to do. You may not be able to loan people just like the bank they loan, because they have a system that they ensures that their money is safe and secured. You may not be able to actually have some cash to actually loan people who are buying the lands, or rather buying the home, then buying the cars and what have you. But the point is this: always put your money where your mouth is. Did I say that you go withdraw all the money that is in the bank and put in all these areas? Hell no, I did not say that. What I said is this: make sure that obviously we need to have some cash in our banks. That's for sure. We cannot actually like put everything into bills, into bonds, in all those kind of things, because at the end of the day, we need cash flow for us to eat, for us to drink. Because I always love to give this example: you cannot be able to go shopping with a title deed. That's for sure. You need cash. So it is good to make sure that you have a balanced life. Don't have all your cash, all your sort of everything about your life. It's concentrated in a bank. It's good to make sure that you diversify. All right. And I wouldn't advise you go for the fixed income of the fixed deposit in a bank. It's not really quite. If you want to invest your money, go with something like an MMF. The same bank have an MMF. You can be able to go for an MMF, or you can actually go ahead and invest your cash in some other better areas whereby you're actually entitled to getting something at the end of the day. So the point is this: do not idolize your cash, and make sure that you do something as far as your cash is concerned. And this is what I always tell people: if you would like to get some information, some specific guidance, do not just go ahead and invest because good Joseph just said go withdraw your money, invest. No. And that's why I always open this point: like, you can go pick the number of mine from the description of this specific box, rather video. Give me a call, we can talk, so that I can be able to listen to you. I know exactly what fits you, and whether it is business way, whether it is investment, whether you need the cash flow, whether you need what we call the assets, because we can be approached by somebody who has the assets, they want to get the cash flow. You may approach by somebody who has a very nice cash flow, they are looking to get the asset. You may find somebody who has actually taken all the time to grow the money. Now they're looking what we call the money preservation, or what we call the storing money and something of sort. So it is good to make sure that at least don't just assume you need bonds, you need bills, you need anything. It's always good to go a step further, contact your financial advisor, be listened, and get to share the information that you're looking forward into getting, your targets and something of sort. So by the time now you're making what we call a decisive decision in terms of the investment, you already know I'm making this decision because 1, 2, 3, 4. You can justify what exactly you're getting yourself into. Because one thing I realize most of the people is that the moment you get a brilliant idea out there, you become what we call an informed optimistic. You know, if you're like, oh my goodness, wow, this is amazing. So you end up investing. You do not even understand exactly how it goes about. But when you invest on the basis of you having understood exactly this is how it works, then you're going to make a very, very clear and an amazing decision. And that way you can be able to progress and do something constructive as far as your life is concerned. And at this particular point, it's time now I take my time and explain to you, hey, guess what? Go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because this is type of the videos that I do post in every day. Make sure that you comment down below. Tell me what you think. What experience do you have with your bank, and how did it go about? And by the way, I gave you a very simple target. Go to a bank and ask them, what investment method do you have? And don't talk about investment that is a fixed income or something. So tell me something else. Do you have shares? Do you have MMF? Do you have those kind of things? So that at least you can be able to do something. Banks, this is my disclaimer as I end this video. Banks are an amazing place. Obviously, we cannot keep money by ourselves, but it's always good to make sure that at least you get yourself the best deal and the best option out there. Do not say that banks are not good. No, banks are amazing. I also have my money in a bank, that's for sure, but obviously not all of it. Certain small fraction of it, and the others is into investments, and that is exactly how we grow ourselves. For now, it's a goodbye, and don't forget, hit that like button, comment down below, and by the way, if you're in a position to, you can join my community membership. And by the way, don't forget as well to share this video if you're in a position to. For now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one.